On the agenda. Mr. President, again, earlier I stated, you're talking about county and no county, no regional deal, no senior citizen centers, no youth centers, and no swimming pools. And if you can identify these problems, then let's try to identify a way to bring some money in. I asked Mr. Roberts for Robert Russ to come forward. Mr. Roberts met with go all over this country, dealing with towers. The Hines County don't own as many towers, maybe as the city of Jackson. He's worked with Hattiesburg, he's worked with others. Because we must think outside the box, and let's bring some money into this county so we can make the necessary improvements to address the life of the people in this county. Mr. Roberts, please.
Good morning, Mr. President, members of the County Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Stokes, thank you very much. As you all know from the information I'm presenting to you, I had originally scheduled a dance on January 6th, and all of the airports between here and St. Louis were closed on those 2 days, and then I wanted to come in last week, and you guys were closed. So I'm glad to be here today. Fortunately, I've got to get back and hear about the close of Dallas and St. Louis Airport tomorrow morning. So I'm glad to be here. It's been a very strange winter. As a former member of the St. Louis City Council and being very active with the National League of Cities and the Blackhawks locally elected official, one of the founders of it, what I found today is that cities and counties are having a difficult time trying to serve their constituents. It's difficult because you can't raise taxes on people anymore. You can't raise fees on businesses. You're not getting any help from Washington or even from your state legislature. So what a lot of cities across the country today are doing is finding innovative ways to monetize the city services that they have to provide some of the capital needs that they have. We have been in the telephone cellular business in the mid-80s, mid-90s. We were one of several successful applicants to get licenses to build cellular locations throughout the Midwest in 6 states. We ended up teaming up with Sprint, and over about 5 years we ran a Sprint network again in the 6 states in the Midwest. Sprint, like a lot of big companies, have an option to buy out smaller franchisees, and about 5 years ago they did that. In addition, when we were building out the system, we built cellular towers, over 180 of them all over the Midwest. So we became experts in that particular area. And now today, if we fast forward from 10 years ago, what a number of investment funds are looking at is the value of the cellular leases that cities and counties and even states to a degree have with the Verizons, the C-Spires, the Sprints of the world. And because they see that there is a need in many of these cities and counties, they're proposing, and what Roberts Wireless is doing with our partners, AP Wireless, is proposing to cities as well as private landlords an opportunity to, in a sense, be paid in advance for rent that you will receive over the next 15 to 20 years. It's a way that...
Say that one more time, please.
I'm sorry. Let me say that again. I'll simplify it because I know I'm talking a little bit fast. This is an opportunity for the monetization of a lease or leases that you have with cellular companies. We're not interested in buying towers or any assets. We're buying contractual rights for a set period of time, usually 15 to 20 years, depending upon what the lease says, including increases. With the Verizons, the C-Spires, the other cellular companies in which you have a lease with presently. And we're saying we will prepay the rent for that particular wireless contract in today's money. So you don't have to wait 15 years, 20 years to get the total amount of the payment back. This is a way in which a county can raise money without having to immediately, because as you all know, the value of a dollar today versus 5 years or 10 years in terms of your purchasing power is changing very, very quickly. Cost of inflation, the cost of equipment, the cost of services is changing dramatically. This is a way in which you can raise funding immediately on what we call non-passive assets. You know, if you look at them individually, they do not give you much value. If you look at them collectively over a certain period of time, those assets, those contracts can provide a large monetization to the county in today's dollars, basically. And so what we've done is we have worked with, like I said, cities, counties, private landlords. My partners at AP Wireless are in 15 countries around the world doing similar type of acquisitions because we believe that it's a way for us to, obviously, it's a good model. To make money, but also, more importantly, it's a way for us to help counties create the amount of funding for their capital needs at this point.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, one final question. Now, if we enter into this agreement, and I know it's early on, do y'all also help try to get other businesses to use our towers?
Yeah. What would happen at no cost to the county, because we're experts in this field, it would be advantageous to use us to market the locations that you have. If it's on water towers, if it's on towers, if it's on the side of the county building where you have a need for additional cellular locators, this is the way that you can market through us to get the additional revenue. The nature of the wireless business is changing very quickly. You know, I was very interested in listening to the issues of the telephone systems that you have in the county at this point. They're antiquated. The world is changing very, very quickly. Everything is becoming wireless. The way we will communicate today and in the years to come by having handheld devices that are basically this size. They're secure, they're digital, they're very efficient. The wired system is a dinosaur. We can continue to replace them. The reality is they will continue to break, and if it's a hard wire, it will continue to have a problem. What we will do is, as we work with the vendors out here, I'm saying Verizon, the Sprint, whoever's providing the services, we can be your expert to figure out how we can better market your telecommunications system here. I know Paul.
Supervisor Calhoun.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Roberts, I'm familiar with the concept that you're talking about, and I have a question. I'm just going to give you some background information on what Hines County has done in the area. Back some years ago, and I believe it was back in 95 or 96, one of my initiatives was to develop a cell tower ordinance. And we did. And matter of fact, several other local counties and states have emulated the same ordinance. During that time, we also contracted with a company, and it's been so long, I don't remember that company's name, to do exactly what you're saying. But also during that time, we went into a depressed economy, so we didn't have anybody seeking us out, and then we attempted to seek out others, but the concept, I guess I call it concept, it just didn't work. Have you looked at the number of towers that we have as well as the number of companies that we have granted permission to either build or utilize their own towers. Because nowadays what companies are doing, they're coming to us and saying, Hines County, we want you to give us the permission to build our own sites. And that's what we've been confronted with. So my question again, have you looked at the number of available, what do you call it, antennas that we have versus the number of companies that are requesting to build their own sites?
Okay. Thank you, Supervisor Calhoun. We have requested copies of all the leases that the county has. It's a little disarray. It's kind of all over the place.
It is.
And we hope to help you, even if you don't pick us, we hope to help you get a better handle on that so you know what your revenue is. More importantly, what your revenue could be within 30 days. So with the help of the board, maybe you can help us expedite getting that information to us. As it relates to the other tower locations, or pending tower locations, I would advise you to tread very carefully because I think there's opportunities for the county through partnerships to create those opportunities for those other carriers to come on your sites because you will receive the benefits from that. If you monetize it with us or if you just do it over time. And a lot of times cities and counties just don't have the expertise to know how to negotiate with these carriers because they've been doing, this is all they do. And in most cases, counties are taking advantage of it. And it's just the nature of the business. You don't have the expertise to do it. We wouldn't allow that to happen. So I think there's an opportunity for the county to use its facilities where the carriers really don't care where they go. They just want to make sure they don't lose coverage for the most part. The other good question that you asked me is there's actually a greater need today and will be tomorrow. Today we're at 3G, third generation digital phones. Fourth generation digital phone is coming very, very quickly. A quick lesson on how cellular works. Cellular towers from one tower to the other used to be 12 to 13 miles. And then when first generation 1G digital came in, it was reduced to about 10 miles. And then when it was second G, it's 8 miles. Because when you have so much data, photographs, other information going over the air, you have to reduce the distance. So by the time fourth generation comes into fruition, it's going to be about 4 miles. So that means that in counties like Hines, you're going to have more locations. It could be on your waterworks, it could be on telephone poles. There's going to be a lot of places. Otherwise, people will lose coverage. And the carriers are very concerned about it because if Cricket, which is one of the smaller carriers, is able to beat T-Mobile to a customer, that's all they're interested in doing.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts, for your comments. Do we have any other comments from the
No, Mr. President, I won't make a motion today, but we're going to have to, I hope you agree with everybody because we need to make sure that we can get with League and everyone else because we got to generate some money. Thank you so much, sir.
Good. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Mr. President, the next item,